Welcome to Keeper Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to do another reading for Capricorn. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me, keeping me safe. Capricorn, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. But most of all, for showing up. This is a reading for the person most on your mind. I'm using the Green Witch Tarot by Ann Moura. And we have a few cards. Here we have the Holy King, which should be the Hermit. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So, it feels like you moved away. You've taken time to yourself. You're going alone. Or you've come into some wonderful inspiration, you're inspired, you are feeling wiser, you're knowing more, you've learned a lesson. It's karmic, the lesson. It is understanding what fairness is. It's coming into some knowledge that is a karmic justice. So you've come to know something, and what that something is karmic justice. See, we have some cards separated here. We have the Ace, or the Page of Swords. We have at the bottom of the deck the 13, and then we have the 17, the Stars, and the 8 of Wands. So it's that looking forward to moving into the future, looking forward to the future, seeing the change, knowing that something is changing. Again, that knowledge, understanding, having that compassion, that new beginning, changing, knowing that something or someone is changing. There's communication in the future. Possibly with someone who is changed, or is changing, moving along. 9 of Cups, having that understanding and moving away. Having the knowledge and moving away and going on your own, starting up on your own, taking time for yourself, going into that alone time, that space of being alone. Capricorn, you're changing, you're growing, you're learning. Person most on your mind is probably doing the same. Let's see, we have a couple cards sticking out here. See, we have the Knight of Swords with the Crone, or the Strength card. So it's holding back on reaching out, or knowing when is the right time to move forward with particular information. You may be in a dilemma as to speak or not to speak, or thinking that you will be in a dilemma. The deck splits on the 4 of Pentacles, showing up the Ace of Pentacles. So that would be a 5 of Pentacles, holding back again from a new beginning. Showing all that potential with the 7 of Pentacles, that what took place in the past. 8 of Wands, communicating with someone about something that took place in the past. Talking about home, feeling left out or pushed out into the cold. Feeling like something's gone to stalemate, or being very patient and waiting for that abundance to come in. Again, not wanting to share. Maybe the person most on your mind is not wanting to share. There's a lack of trust. There's that sense of being patient and waiting for some news to come about a new beginning, or a home, setting up for a home, wanting a home. And the deck did split, but now it's going back together. Let's see. Splitting here with the Commitment. being committed to the cause, being committed to having that new beginning. Someone wants to make an offer. Again, we come back to the Seven of Swords with Three of Cups. So dealing with family or being patient with family. Then we have our Page of Wands. So again, being patient for a proposal to come in. Somebody wants to reach out to you. Could be family members trying to come in or waiting for the right moment to reach out and speak to you. Could be there would be communication between you and someone else, the person most on your mind. Again, the Two of Cups showing up for that commitment and wanting to start something new. Somebody wants to make an offer, Capricorn. Someone wants to approach you. King of Swords, High Priestess. Being secretive and not giving in, not, again, judgment too. Could be a judgment call on your part. You're following with intuition, keeping secrets, keeping things secret. Not wanting to tell, not wanting to speak. And very determined with that, not wanting to speak. And then we have the Witch, so the Magician and the Knight of Wands. So really wanting to move on and have a start, a fresh start. Having everything that you need to start. Following the intuition more than anything as to when. Wanting to go on your own, wanting to be independent. Could be you, could be the person most on your mind. And then we have the Two of Wands. Going into that dilemma of, should I go, should I stay, should I talk, when is the right time? Capricorn, this is a reading for the person most on your mind. Seems like you both may be in a position of dilemma where you both need to choose the right moment. Or you may be deciding to wait. Could be that you're dealing with an air sign with that ace, not the ace, sorry, the King of Swords, but then that is energy. Could be your determination to hold and wait, not reach out, waiting for the person most on your mind to reach out to you, make the first move. We're using the 9-card spread, and I choose the cards at random. For the energy of the person most on your mind, and of course your energy too, I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. I cut the deck and I flipped one portion over, so it's some cards are in reverse, and that brings a little more depth to the reading, to read the energy of the person most on your mind and as well as yours. So I pulled 2 cards. Then we have, for the thoughts of the person most on your mind, is the Lover's Oracle, but this deck has no author. And that's fine. It works well. So we start off with the first card is your situation between you, person most on your mind, and the second card is how you deal with that situation, and the third card is how the person most on your mind is dealing with it. Let's line them up here. And we have Spirit's advice if you choose to follow, and we have how you react or how you deal with Spirit's advice. This is how the person most on your mind does. I feel like it's too far off in the edge. Let's just turn it this way. Okay, it's a lot better. And then for the final outcome, it's a potential. It could change if you decide not to follow Spirit's advice. This is how you react to that outcome, and this is how the person most on your mind does. We're starting at the top, and the Seven of Pentacles has come back. So it's really being patient, or feeling that things have gone into stalemate, there's no communication, or you're just waiting. You're waiting for something to change. You're waiting for results to come in. Again, we saw the King of Swords could be a judgment call or a judgment coming in, news coming in. I think we did see the Ace of, I keep saying the Ace, the Page of Swords, so more information may be required. So it's either being patient or things gone into stalemate. So here we see the Queen of Swords, so being brutally honest and telling truth, or being patient. Again, waiting for someone to come to you, waiting for news to come. Someone wants to start, someone wants to begin anew, someone is thinking about making an offer. Very emotional. Someone is thinking about starting over. Here we have the Horn God, so being that this is the Emperor, this is someone who is either taking charge, because Spirit is giving advice through this card. So being responsible, taking responsibility for actions that have been done in the past, for things going into stalemate, taking responsibility for opening up and sharing and having that compassion come forward. Starting anew, making an offer. Taking the responsibility is the advice here. And then we have the High Priest. So deep understanding. Having learned a lesson, and I see the bottom of the deck is a Hangman. So seeing things from a different perspective. Spirit is asking us to take that responsibility and see past shortcomings, to rise above and be that teacher, learning lessons, being patient, having that judgment call, being very discerning, being very careful in who you speak to, what you say. Someone wants to start, someone is Knight of Wands here. Someone is looking to have a fresh start. Someone wants to go on an adventure. Someone is looking to come forward, speak, and take responsibility. Wanting to make an offer. Again, changing perspective about a situation. Here we see what would be the outcome is the Ten of Swords, so being honest, having truth come forward. Finishing up a cycle, knowing that this is the end. Again, could be that they are looking for an adventure, they're being honest about that. You wanting to have marriage, they wanting to just have a good time. Someone needs to say exactly what they want and take responsibility. The Knight is looking up to the Emperor. The Knight is below the Emperor, reaching for that sense of responsibility, being honest, seeing a whole different perspective where this relationship is concerned. Regardless of situation, they need to make an offer, or they're thinking about it. They're changing their mindset. They're becoming more, they're thinking more along the lines of what needs to be done rather than what they want to be done. Giving up that the frivolosity, being more serious with the relationship rather than selfish. Being honest. You want to be committed. You are committed. You are either taking things to the point where you are being selfish and turning away from the relationship because of certain truth, or you are very committed. You want to get into this relationship and take it to a higher level. You're seeing things differently from Queen of Swords to King of Cups. You're changing your perspective. You have that commitment and you are determined. You want to make the offer yourself. Seeing that there is a second cup here. We saw the Two of Cups. They want to know and understand, or they're being more open to understanding and learning more, want more information. They want to talk, or they want to get more knowledge of. They want certain truths. They want to share certain truths. They want to understand. Maybe they're not, there's information that's missing. Okay, I think I turned the deck upside down. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's the only card that's upside down. Okay. Don't know why it's upside down, but in the reverse, we're having a hard time seeing that perspective. It was upside down. Everything else is right side up. Oh, Capricorn, I'm sorry. But yeah, I thought it was upside down when I turned the card, but here we see the antlers of the Emperor. It's not as powerful because, of course, he's Lord and Master of the forest, as the Emperor goes. And here we see the Hangman in the reverse. It's just showing that way. But then there's a blockage and it's in reverse. That perspective is not being seen. And then we see the Devil card following with the Three of Cups. So we're looking at all of the negativity that could come from this. It's a slowdown, it's blockage, it's gossip, it's third parties. It's not telling the truth. It's not seeing the real reality. It's wanting more. They're wanting more understanding, more knowledge. They want to know. There's something they don't know. You coming into understanding certain information they are not aware of. The Devil showing up here is saying, putting a hold on things. Saturn rules in retrograde right now, and everything is slowing down. Things are not able to move forward. They want to go out and have a good time, but you are not wanting to do that. There's certain information that they are not privy to. There's gossip, there's third-party situations. There's a lot of blockage here. And then we have a fourth cup, so it's difficult. Somebody's not having a good time. Maybe they are not feeling that they can approach, or they're not ready. You're a king here, you're a queen here, and we have a knight and we have a page, so they're not on the same level. They need a little more time. Maybe they're still partying, having a good time, and not taking this relationship seriously. Maybe they're still being selfish with what they want. Either way, following your heart and really going for what you want is the way to go, because they're doing it on their side. They're following what they want. They're thinking about what they want. They have an inclination of what needs to be done here, because they're looking toward the Emperor. A commitment is in the making, but it's quite blocked. We have 3 cards that are coming between the 2 cups. Other people are getting involved where maybe they shouldn't be. You are wanting to go off on your own, or you are communicating long distance or online, or just not communicating. You're exercising what you know through staying away, but then this is communication. So either wanting to speak and share what's really going on, how you feel, and they're not able to rise up to that. Again, we have 2 cups. A commitment is being, you want that commitment, but they are not understanding. They need more. They need a little more time. And alone time seems to be what is called for here, because we have the 4 of Pentacles as we have the 4 of Cups. Where did I see it? Okay. 3 of Cups makes the 4 of Cups here. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles with the 5th Pentacle here showing up as we want to overcome, we want to get to that proposal, we want to start something new, but we're not ready, we're not willing to share. Again, is it you that's not willing to share because of the situation between you? You're waiting, you're seeing that they are not ready. Maybe there's certain truths they're not coming with, because this is holding back. This is holding back here, our reversed Hangman, not seeing clearly or not willing to change the mindset, still wanting to be the let's have fun, let's play, rather than let's take this to the higher level of relationship, being more serious. Spirit is asking for that seriousness to show. Here we have holding back, we have really holding things down, being stubborn-minded, not opening up. And we see the Knight of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles, and that brings in 2 Pentacles, so things are just not on the same page. We're giving more to something or someone else than giving fair, equal treatment. We're dealing with relationships rather than a relationship, and that is typical of the Knight of Wands, to be in many relationships or just not taking the relationship they're in very seriously. We have a dilemma here. Again, this becomes the 6 of Wands with the wand from the Knight, and that brings in that ego. That brings in that sense of competition, that I need to, and then we have 2 Pentacles, so competing one against another or having difficulty choosing one over another. And then making that focus on, I'm leaving, I want to leave this situation because of what has taken place in the past with third parties. So a lot of interference, and then the deck splits on the sun, the moon. So really looking into the confusion from the past, looking back at what was and trying to make sense. Again, looking for the honesty, looking for the truth, really learning deep, hard lessons from certain actions or situations or people, having learned hard lessons and now taking the responsibility to be committed or to be alone, taking care of the self because of the confusion that was involved in whatever took place in the past, and now the truth coming to the surface that we're not ready to take that responsibility, because that's the truth. They're not ready. Someone's not ready. And if it is that we compare levels here, we see again the Knight and the Queen versus, the King and the Queen versus the Knight and the Page. So we're not on the same level. You and the person most on your mind, Capricorn, you're having a difficult time, and that's what would be normal, in the sense where they are not ready to approach or take the seriousness of your sentiment with this relationship. They're not ready to take into consideration the difficulty that you may have been put through because of their folly, their actions. Even though they want to start over or bring in an apology, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult for you to reach forward and say yes to them because of what happened in the past, because you've been burned. You've been burned. She's been burned. That Queen of Swords. She doesn't forget. She doesn't forget what she was put through. And you're not forgetting at this point. You're remembering all too well. You're remembering everything that happened. And you're being very serious with this, because the King of Cups is very, very selfish in the sense where he's taking care of himself first and foremost. Things are on a stalemate when it comes to a commitment. Someone is not ready. The reverse here is not reaching forward, making that effort to see a different perspective. The Devil showing up is another blockage. What is the energy of the person most on the mind of Capricorn? Oh my. Okay, I'm not taking this card. It just fell. Alright, let's shuffle a little bit. I'm going to pick a card for the person most on your mind, as well as for your energy. It's a random card. Soulmates. Well, you can't avoid each other. That's for one thing. They're thinking that no matter what, you're connected, and it's a question of dealing with you. Let's see what your card will be. You're observing, and rightly so, because you've been burned. You're not wanting to go down the same path again. They're wanting to have fun, or they see the connection as no matter what happens, we're never going to be apart. They have that confidence. This is probably why they want to make an offer, make that commitment, bring in that commitment. Let's see the 41. Because it's not in, it is in the upright, it's not reversed, though we have this in the reverse. Let's see the 41. Harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship, fostering personal growth. So they're ready in their minds, they're ready. They are coming with all the fun and the new beginning, and they're eager to get started. They want more, they want to learn more, they want to rise up, gain more understanding, probably want to get more, they want to understand you better. But again, it is not being able to see. You see, that's what this is. When it is in the right position, meaning that it is in the upright, his head is to the earth, and he's waiting for, or he's seeing that, okay, I'm seeing things from a different perspective. But when it's upside up, well, in reverse, his perspective hasn't changed. You see? He still sees things as if he were not hanging upside down. Whereas if he were hanging upside down, what would be in the upright should be distorted. And then he can see past what he knows. But when it is in the reverse, he's not seeing more than what he knows. So as far as they're concerned, they're not seeing that this relationship is in danger of coming to an end because of their freeness, their freedom, their sense of freedom. They think that they can have this type of relationship and nothing is going to be they're not going to lose anything. You see? They don't have to do anything more than just be there. I'm committed. I'm here. What more should I give? We're together. For them, it's an understanding. We're together. There's nothing you can do. We're together. Let's see the relationship on this. Consider love in the deepest sense. Love so powerful that you will never be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. Consider friendships and romantic bonds so compelling that they overwhelm you with gratitude, or break you open so you will finally claim who you were meant to be. Even a companion animal reminds you that it is you who is being rescued and healed. Pay attention, for you are in the presence of a soulmate, come to guide you home to the real you. So you are teaching them a lesson. All in all, they are learning, because they are the page and they are the knight, where you are the king and you are the queen, and you are the teacher here. You are observing them. You're observing from afar. You're not going toward them. In fact, you're going away from them, and they will realize, because they're still not seeing that you're gone or that you are going. They're being blocked. Maybe they're being blocked on purpose. Their vision is blocked so that they will have to see what's going on inside of them, because they're not seeing what their cause and effect is. They're just seeing that what they see, or what they think they see, and they see that they are committed. They see that they want to be in a relationship. They see you, but they don't see the consequences of their acts. And that is what you are making them see. Eventually, they will come to realize. They will have to take responsibility. This is why you're standing off. You're not reaching for that, and you're going to go on your own. You're going to stay away. You're observing. You're observing. Let's see, 49. That's interesting, this one. 49. When they realize that you're not there, then they're probably going to understand a little better. And that's when they're going to change their perspective. And then your work with them will be done. Perspective, again, you seeing through the consequences of action. Subjectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Let's see the relationship. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. All right, let's see the thoughts of the person most on your mind. You're really taking care of you here. But again, Spirit is asking you to lend your sights and look a little deeper within. What are the thoughts of the person most on your mind? Because you could be the one that's not seeing a different perspective. You could be the one that is being very selfish here. But then you were burned, so maybe you're in the right. It's not for me to judge. Only you will know what your situation is, and if it is that you are feeling that your commitment is being taken advantage of, or you are not changing your perspective. Only you will know. What are the thoughts of the person who's sort of on the mind of Capricorn? I'm just going to take some random cards and shift this over. Here we see conflict, clashing, differences, incompatibility. So yeah, you're feeling like you're not suited. Again, 10 of Swords, truth, all kinds of truth coming up. And they are thinking that there's differences between you. They're starting to realize how different you really are. And 2 cards came. Okay, let's see. Emotional storm. Wow, they're going through quite a bit of conflict. Unstable. They're not feeling very comfy because, again, they're thinking things are not working in their favor. They're feeling that there's possibilities. See the free spirit, that adventure. Could be you're dealing with a fire sign. Leo, Sagittarius, even in Aries. That stubbornness that they have, that they only see the possibilities of coming back together, wanting to come back, or seeing that they really want to come back to you. Let's take one more. It could be you're dealing with family, and this is why they think, well, we're family. No matter what you do, we're family. No matter where you go, we're still family. And then intimacy, bonding, sensual, confiding. For some of you, it is wanting to build a family. They're missing that sense of intimacy with you. For them, again, they are committed. They want to make an offer. They want to have a good time. They don't want to deal with the hard side of relationship. They want to have the fun side of relationship. And they probably see you as a very fun person to be with. But if you've been burned, Capricorn, that is a conversation that you must have with them. On that note, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, love and light.